Lemon was in LA getting ready to cover the Grammys when he was handcuffed in his hotel room, not consensually. He was taken into custody for storming into a Minnesota church. Lemon joined a rowdy mob that busted into Sunday Mass, trapped the congregation in the pews, and started threatening them, screaming at them, intimidating them. They told kids their parents would burn in hell. They yelled at them that they were in the devil's house. Parents couldn't find their kids because they were blocked. A woman was injured trying to escape. Lemon got up in the pastor's face.
We're here to worship Jesus. That's why we're here. Okay? That's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Do you think Jesus would be understanding and
we're about
love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
Lemon's been charged with 2 counts, interfering with freedom of religion and depriving the right to worship. That last count was designed to protect blacks from the KKK barging in on their houses of worship. Here's Bondi.
Make no mistake, under President Trump's leadership and this administration, you have the right to worship freely and safely. And if I haven't been clear already, if you violate that sacred right, we are coming after you.
The head pastor of the church says this: "We are grateful that the Department of Justice acted swiftly to protect City's church so that we can continue to faithfully live out the church's mission to worship Jesus and make him known." The media watched a church service be terrorized and shut down, but most of them haven't seen the inside of a church before and are somehow defending Lemon.
Don Lemon has been an enemy of the MAGA movement for quite some time. He's disliked by the Trump administration.
He is a Trump foe, and this is another example of the administration targeting a Trump foe.
That is stark. It is reality. There is, as we have spoken about, the potential of a major chilling effect, although I certainly am not going to shut my mouth. I know that you won't either.
Chilling effect? Is that journalist gonna stop storming churches now that Lemon's been busted? Because not a single journalist has ever done this. Why? Because it's illegal and despicable. Don Lemon wasn't on Trump's target list. He's not significant enough. He just happened to do something so stupid, he put himself there. Journalists can't commit crimes and then get off because they filmed it. You can't break into someone's house and interview the owner while your crew steals the furniture. Don Lemon wasn't even a reporter documenting a protest that spontaneously turned into a riot. He was in on the crime. Lemon met up with the mob ahead of time. He knew the target and admitted he was in on the operation. Shutting down a church service was the goal. Lemon knew it. It was premeditated.
They're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as I said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go.
But when does a journalist turn off their cameras? His job is to give us critical information, not hide it. He's admitting he's conspiring to conceal evidence of a crime. Even CNN's like, no bueno.
But he clearly knew something was taking place that day with the protesters. He told his viewers on YouTube to stay tuned because there was something about to happen.
At one point when Lemon was inside the church, he said he was surprised that the cops hadn't shown up yet, acknowledging that he knew it was against the law. At one point, Lemon notices kids are crying and says they're being traumatized. And then he says, like, oh, well, that's the whole point of the operation. The indictment says children thought their parents were going to die. Parents were grabbing their children and fleeing for safety. Lemon's mob was menacing families and calling them Nazis. He was encouraging and supporting the reprehensible behavior. And at one point, thanked the ringleader. Lemon wasn't an independent journalist. He was on their team. Listen.
White supremacists!
What's that going to mean?
This is a white supremacist agenda!
Why do you say that? No, me, dude. I'm out here.
Whose team are you on?
Come on, man. This is Don Lemon.
All right, man. All right. Well, sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. Really? No, I'm so sorry.
He's very much on our team. Lemon was even handing out refreshments to the crowd.
Do you want some coffee?
I'm okay.
Don Lemon is on the front lines right now.
Thank you.
Follow Don Lemon. He ain't on CNN no more, so he right here in the front line.
Independent, yeah.
Come get some coffee.
Hey, Don Lemon got some coffee for y'all.
And donuts.
And donuts. And he ain't talking about police.
Trump called Don Lemon the dumbest man on television, but now he's the dumbest man not on television.
I have spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. I will not be silenced. I look forward to my day in court.
If Don Lemon was covering the news, he would have stayed outside the church and interviewed the congregation leaving. Imagine if Matt Lauer and his buddies are driving around East Hampton and decided to light a cop car on fire just as a protest. And then they get caught. And Lauer says, "Officer, I'm innocent. I recorded the whole thing on my phone. I put it on YouTube." No. Lemon even went on a show afterwards and called everybody in the congregation a white supremacist. That's not going to sit well with the jury in Minnesota. And the counties they're pulling the jury from in Minnesota, a lot of these counties are Trump country. Lemon posted the whole crime on his channel and made money off of it. And he's going to need a lot more of that now because his lawyer doesn't come cheap. He hired Abbe Lowell, Hunter's attorney, who rang up millions in legal fees repping the First Son. Good thing Lemon was making $6 million a year at CNN because this case is going to cost him. His attorney says, quote, "This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court." The unprecedented attack on the First Amendment was Don and his boys canceling Sunday Mass. Biden arrested plenty of journalists who were filming on January 6th, and they didn't even go inside of the Capitol. They stayed outside and were still convicted. Imagine if Nick Shirley and a crew bum rushed a synagogue or a mosque, started making kids cry, yelling they were all going to hell, and then claimed he was just a journalist. Prosecutors would drop the hammer. But Jane Fonda says the wrong Don's in handcuffs.
Okay. So I know Don Lemon. My husband created CNN, and I will fight for their right to speak, which is guaranteed in our Constitution. They arrested the wrong Don.
The freedom to worship is nearly absolute in America. If you can burst into houses of worship and start threatening people, America's over. It's toast. We might as well live in the jungle. And journalists don't have a right to shut down church services. No one has that right. Being a journalist doesn't put you above the law. I know that's what many people in the news think, but I know Don Lemon's probably going to say he was targeted because he was black or he was gay, but being black and being gay doesn't put you above the law either. Don Ronaldo Lemon, yep, Ronaldo's his middle name, is innocent until proven guilty, and he'll have his